welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. What's going on out there? We're so glad you joined us today.
It's a hot one.
It's a hot one out there.
It's a hot one out there. The weather is nice.
The weather is nice. It's been a couple weeks. It's June. We are halfway through the year already.
That is wild.
It is wild. Christmas, 6 months away.
I don't know.
6 months in. And
I've heard this parallel before. I think probably from you, but I don't like. Just because it's June doesn't make me think of Christmas.
Well, that's what I think about because it's literally right around the goddamn corner. Literally. We're going to turn around and it's going to be August and then it's going to be Christmas. Promise.
I think of June as like it's either raining or it's 90 degrees.
It is 86 here today. What is it up there in Denver?
90, 80,
Yep.
89, 90.
If it is 90 degrees now, it's going to be hot in July. This weekend, it's going to be 112 degrees in Vegas. So if you guys are heading out to Vegas, good luck.
Gross.
That is why I would not live in Vegas. Nope.
Well, people
Hard
are
pass.
people are living in Vegas and they're heading out there to go see Dead and Company at the Sphere.
Oh, yeah.
They're all in on that.
I'm down. I would do it. But
You'd go into the hot 112 because that's what it would take.
No, I think it'd be cool to see Dead and Company again.
Yeah, Rob and Michelle said it was amazing.
I bet.
So.
Mayor just went and hit a show with Zach Bryan in L.A. So he did Revival with him and then one of Mayer's songs. So I couldn't even imagine watching a Zach Bryan show and then having John Mayer show up too. It's like two.
I think Mayer is a huge fan of Zach Bryan because he plays him a lot on his John Mayer channel.
I'm super jealous that he showed up because he's not going to show up in a couple weeks when we see him at Empower Field. I'm like,
not likely to be in Denver.
No, he's going to be in Vegas at the Sphere. Yeah.
What day of the week is it? Because they're only doing like 3 days of shows. Like
it's Friday, Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Or they just extended it. I got another email on it, but the ticket price is what they're asking for, and the vertigo that I feel like I would experience in the Sphere. I'd
at least try it.
You've been but it's more of an immersive. If
I gotta leave. But I would at least try it. And I'm the one that's like susceptible to motion sickness with screens and stuff. I would buy a ticket and try it. And
U2 was amazing. U2, I mean, no joke, it's U2 anyway, but the way that whole stage and everything around it
moves,
like, the sound, I mean, everything. Like, if once you see a concert there, I don't think you'll ever see another concert in the same way.
It is an immersive experience. Like when I was watching a commercial, it's funny because like just on the regular channels up in Denver, they have commercials for this stuff. And I was watching a commercial about the Dead and Company shows, and it showed like all the Grateful Dead, it looks so graphics
great.
And stuff. Like, I mean, that would be incredible. And they have the coolest like animations. And,
don't threaten me. I'll look at tickets like right now.
I would totally do it. If I have to leave, I have to leave. I'd probably pop some Dramamine and just call it a day.
You'd probably be popping something.
I think you'd have to.
Well, I think so.
That's what I was looking at the whole time. Like, man, if you are not tripping your ass off, you're going to be feeling like you're tripping.
Hey, I'm not above that. I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh my God. Okay, guys, this is Real Talk Real Estate.
This just got real.
It got real. Oh my gosh. Yeah, get it together, Chris.
He's like going?
Not like in an unprofessional way or anything.
No, we're just talking.
He's not going streaking through the corridor. Don't worry.
That's right.
Yeah, well, that
completely.
I'm not following him down the main street, the main drag in Vegas. If that happens after any of it, I'm just letting him go. The Strip. There you go. I'm just gonna let Chris go. See you later.
He'll be yelling like, "The shrooms are turning on me."
Yes.
She'd probably enjoy that experience.
I would watch. I'd watch from afar. I might get a bag of popcorn. I don't know. I might just sit down and just...
And video.
Yeah. So...
That's funny.
Who's this naked guy running down the Strip?
That's correct, Lou. There you go. Hope you got your on clouds on.
Yeah.
Hey.
All right. So what are we talking about today?
I think we have a lot on our mind, but one of the questions we are getting, or we want to know, I should say, we want kind of a little bit of a both, double down. So clients are asking us, especially that are under contract on properties, like how do I get updates done once I take hold of the property? What can I do to make this property worth more livable? And then right now we're seeing a lot of our clients and our friends and family kind of staying put because they have a great interest rate. They have no reason to move, but they're looking to make their space more livable, more usable, maybe expand, maybe add an ADU, which is an accessory dwelling unit. So another an income producing property or a guest suite, nanny quarters. There's lots of different things you can do to kind of expand your space. And if that's you, if you're thinking about that, what do you do? How do you get there? Who do you call? Because not everybody knows everybody, and it's a way to make your house more livable. We talk about it all the time, at least in our space. Putting a garage in the back and popping an ADU on top of it to make an extra living quarters, to make a studio. I want a yoga hut. Chris is like, I'll put a yoga hut out there, and I actually want just a yoga hut. I don't want it to be above the garage.
You're lost. You really dropped the ball on that one.
Really?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want it to? I mean, I could
because
do
I want to
so
make
much
money.
more.
I want to make money off of it. I don't want it to be.
Money is good. Yeah, like that's
the way
that's
I
a big
look at
piece.
it. If I want my yoga hut, I want that to be completely separate and heated.
Well, there's just not a lot of more. Like you only have so many square feet back there.
Well, we're gonna talk about.
That'll
We're
be
gonna
in the
talk about
garage.
this. We're gonna talk about this.
So the call that I have had the most in the last couple of weeks is, can I get rid of my mortgage insurance?
Yep, I got one of those today. Let's talk about that too,
has
because I got one of those today.
So has my house appreciated enough in this market to get rid of my mortgage insurance? And so I've had a handful of those calls in the last couple of weeks, and the answer is the houses are still appreciating. So you're going to be real close. People that bought 3 and 4 years ago, without a doubt, are going to be real close.
So how do they get there? Because that was the question that I got this afternoon when I was getting my hair did.
So typically what a bank does is you contact your bank. The bank will do a BPO, which is a broker price opinion, which is us doing like a market analysis for it. If the numbers are close, they'll basically help you drop your mortgage insurance. If the numbers aren't close, you could fight it out and say, I want to do a full blown appraisal. But that's typically how that starts is you can get rid of the mortgage insurance that way.
Well, and you have to be 80% loan to value, correct? Like that's
what it is. Yep. So you've paid down. So you've owned the house for, let's say, 3-4 years. You've been paying down. You're throwing an extra payment in maybe a year, which would be great. And then on top of that, the market's appreciated over those 3 to 4 years. And then your loan to value would be 80%. So, not one that I've seen has not been either super close or well over it. So, I will say that in the last 3 to 4 years, people that are a year or two out, there's absolutely no chance, unless you're dumping a lot of extra cash.
Right.
The second call I get the most of is, can I use that equity? I've got credit card debt. I've got a car payment. I want to get rid of some of my revolving credit cards or whatever, and can I use my equity to position myself to get rid of that debt and get rid of my payments so that the interest rates right now are through the roof on some of these credit card companies. So
30% is one of the ones I read recently. 30 to 40% on a like a new credit card application, because we get those emails all the darn time.
Yeah.
And I just booked flights for us in the fall, and the airline was offering, a credit if you apply for their credit card. And I looked at it and I was like, y'all are tripping. I was like, no freaking way. 30%. I'm not giving you my social security number and any of it to have you to even give you a chance to charge me that much. No, thank you.
Well, and think about that too. And I'm sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. I was just saying that more and more people don't really, like sometimes now, because the retailer is getting charged 3 or 4% per transaction, they don't even want to accept your credit card. Like they give you.
When we were in Avon, one of the restaurants we went out to, I looked at my bill, and when I got the bill back, they had charged me like a credit card fee, like a 3% credit card fee just for using my credit card. And I was like, great, that would have been good to know.
Well, and on the flip side of that, it's a resort community or whatever. So a different restaurant said straight up, for staff lodging, they charged, a couple bucks, whatever it is, to pay their staff to be able to afford to live there. That I don't disagree with. The credit card company thing, it's kind of like, I get what you're trying to do, but it's it shouldn't be an inconvenience for me to use my credit card. It's still my money.
Well, and you're still paying on that too. I mean,
Yeah,
and those fees have all gone up. So all the fees across the board. But
for sure.
if you use the equity in your house and you're wanting to get rid of that credit card debt, let's just say best case scenario at 20%, right? Or 18%. Your HELOC, home equity line of credit, would probably be somewhere around 8 or 9%. So you'd basically cut your interest in half. You would also have be able to pay that off, as opposed to just continually having more and more debt. So, as people are seeing, like your grocery bills are going up, your insurance costs went up, your property taxes went up. You're seeing those across the board. People are looking for creative ways, and the greatest part about owning a house is you can use that equity to help offset those costs and do those pieces.
Well, it's interesting that you tied that in, because you can use your home equity to build an ADU, like what Shannon was talking about. So lots of many uses for your home equity, for sure.
So and that's the other piece. Like people are saying to us, man, I would love to move, right? We just had a baby. We want a bigger house. We'd love to have, like, my parents, they can't live on their own anymore. I need them to come live with me. What can we do? Because we can't move. We've got a 2.5% interest rate. We're not moving right now. That just doesn't make sense. But what they can do is, like Shannon wants to do, like put on an accessory dwelling, fix up the house, do an addition to the house, add another bedroom, add another bedroom, bathroom.
Pop the top.
Pop the top.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh.
Tell me more about this
Pop the top.
What's pop the top?
So
you rip the roof off and you go up. You pop it.
And I mean, I'm working with friends and a client right now that are working on that. They are popping the top and expanding out, and they have an amazing lot in Denver, and it's a beautiful house as it is, but it's going to be amazing when they're done.
It's a solid strategy. I mean, if you love where you're at, you just need more space.
But how do I do it? Because I don't know contractors. I don't have a construction background. I'm the person that just has the vision right now.
It's not a
homeowner special
job.
Yeah, my husband can't go drop a garage with an ADU in the back. So what do I do?
Oh, don't be surprised. I probably could.
He probably could, but I mean, I'm just trying to throw it out there for the individuals that may not know, because I know that we kind of have an idea. I'm playing devil's advocate. Yep.
So I think the first part, and this is the piece that we emphasize the most, is get a market analysis. Find out how much your house is worth today. Get a pulse of.
Who would you call to do that? Who would you call?
I think you're looking at three fantastic people.
There you
right
go.
Now,
Yep.
that can help you with that.
There you go.
That's the first
Call
step,
me.
right? So let's find out how much equity you have. Whether you're paying off debt, whether you're looking to expand your house, add an accessory dwelling, buy another property. I mean, that's another total different strategy of buying another property, and you're renting out your current house. But as you're going through,
mold that over ourselves.
There's a ton of strategies with that equity. I mean, you're in the driver's seat with a vehicle that has now some ways to leverage that equity. But the next step from that would be, we're going to help you get with some amazing contractors. But the other steps in there that we have to get you with, we're helping people do this, right? So you need an architect, an engineer. You need to find out if it's actually feasible. Like, everyone's like, oh, I want to pop the top on my house. Can you pop the top on your house? A house from the 40s is going to cost you a lot of money to pop the top, because you're having to reinforce foundation, you're having to do a bunch of stuff. And I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but we need to get you with an architect and an engineer. Then getting you with contractors, and we're starting to partner ourselves with some of these different contractors that can help in this process, and give you, like, so if you want to do a mom and pop, I want to do the work ourselves. Chris is like, hey, I'm handy, I want to do the work. Here's the plans, here's getting it through the permitting, here's all the different steps, and having a contractor kind of hold your hand all the way through having somebody come out and do everything start to finish, is what we're trying to help with in that
scenario. Or even if you want to just be the project manager and manage the project, we recommend folks to do the individual jobs.
Yeah, the first step, and we're working on like and Shannon's been great about this. There's a Google form that we're using right now that
I don't have it created yet. I don't have it created yet. I'm close.
She's working on it. Yep. But what we're looking at is what are you looking to do? Do you have the equity? How can we help? Because our job is really to help you get your house where you want it to be. And if this is the perfect house, hell, we'll help you find another one. But the reality is, right now, the circumstances may not allow that. And so take advantage of what you have. Take advantage of, if the market's going to change in the year or two and you're going to be like watching for interest rates to drop and things like that, and you're like, man, we're going to move the minute that happens. Have your house ready. Position yourself so that can happen, and you can use the equity to do it. We're not recommending using credit cards because, as we've talked about, the credit card costs are freaking ridiculous right now. So why would you do that to yourself? Why would you burden yourself with that debt when you can use that equity?
Well, it makes me rethink one of our business strategies is that we are to get miles, or points on our credit cards. We use them for expenses throughout the month, and then we pay it off.
I don't get charged interest. So that's the difference. If I let it roll over, then I would.
So as long as we pay it off.
Yes. Okay. So that you have to look at it from a different perspective with that. Sure. So
if we're paying interest on that,
I don't pay interest on it.
Okay, yeah. If you are paying interest on that, even if it's only for a short period of time, it could rack up and.
Yep. So that's the difference. But that's I've put it on my vision board for the last, 5 years to not carry credit card debt. And it's been very, very hard to do that, especially in difficult times. And I think Christmas time this year, I had to carry it over for a few months until we kind of got caught up, I guess is the nicest way to say it. But since Chris and I got in a bunch of credit card debt a few years ago, and once we got all of that paid off, I kind of vowed hand to God never to do it again, because I knew the interest and it took so much hard work to get it paid off.
Cards up. It was
and I had to do balance transfers. I mean, I was very intentional with doing that, and that was what helped us get from our little house to this house, because in order to do that, I had to remove that debt to get there. And it
got rid of all the Guitar Center and revolving credit card.
It was a whole thing. And it definitely.
We could do a whole show on that. I think that would be an amazing show to do.
Like, I mean,
seriously,
it really was powerful.
That have it. Yeah. I mean, that's
dude,
cutting that.
A very high percentage of Americans have that going on.
Yeah, I think I read. I think it's going to be more of the norm, especially with the easy access. I mean, I was checking out on Southwest Airlines, and it made it look like I would get $200 off before going to the checkout if I applied for their Southwest Airlines credit card. And I was like, $200 off, is that worth it? And I was like, no, it's not worth it, to open up a line of credit, pull the credit, ding my credit, and then whatever with their interest rates. And then have I get really crazy about putting my information out there too. Yeah. So I was like, nope, I'm not giving you nothing. Just book the flights. Yeah.
For good cause.
Cautious. Yeah, that's a good way to say it.
That's the part, right, where the home equity line, it empowers you to do what you want to do. And even if you kept it as an emergency fund and you're like, look, if something happens, heaven forbid, you need that money, it's there, right? And you're not having to go to a 30% interest rate on some of those credit cards. That's what was outlawed in payday loans a couple of years ago.
Yep, I remember that. I remember those. Yep.
Yeah, but now that's like, oh, well, that's just the normal number. But look at what the credit card companies had to do. They had to move to certain states that allowed it. Nevada is one of them, that allowed that to happen, so that they could charge those rates. And
I'm hearing the jingle right now. Something about J.G. Wentworth. If you need cash now or something.
J.G. Wentworth.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, think about that.
Colorado native is no way affiliated with J.G. Wentworth.
Yeah. we outlawed that as a country, saying that those were predatory loans, but those are the rates that are being charged right now. So, um, you know, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But be aware of that, and you could use your home equity line of credit to make those financial decisions, and then save yourself a lot of money. So keep that in mind. I'll get off my soapbox.
No, it was a good it was a good soapbox to be on, because I think it's a conversation that's a hard conversation that people don't really know. They don't realize that that's an extra value add for home ownership as well. They just see like the interest rates and it's so hard, and look at the property prices and whatever. But it's a benefit that you have when you've been in your house for 3 to 5 years. You're earning equity, and you'll be able to do different things down the road to help. Use it as a vehicle. You're in the driver's seat, as you said. So,
and if you keep that house, as a rental, your tenants are paying that mortgage and the other one, the HELOC.
Yes.
If
in
you
theory,
decide to sell that house, if you decide to sell that house, then that house, is basically, you're getting rid of that. You're going to have to make up some equity somewhere else, but ideally we get that kind of taken care of. So.
Heck yeah. Well, also to kind of wrap things up, because we're close to our time, we're hosting a 4th of July Independence Day party at our house here in the Springs.
I'll have a flyer next time. We'll put it up on the...
Oh, I had it. I just didn't put it in there. I was trying to avoid the that for today because we just didn't have time to put it in. But June 29th. Let me just give you the correct date to make sure I'm right on there. June 29th, noon to whenever. So if you can pop by for a little bit, great. If you want to stay and play all day, feel free. We're going to have food and drinks and fun stuff for the kids to do, and really good conversation and great people. Chris has a sweet tent we can put out back, and we've got a really fun backyard with a bar and a pergola, and anybody that's been here frickin' loves our backyard space, so it'll be a good time, I promise.
It's amazing.
And I will feed you. I will feed you well.
And you'll get to see the sweet bar and the Blackstone and all that.
Yep. If you're lucky, I'll make you an Aperol spritz, which I had over the week too, and they're amazing. But apparently there's an Aperol shortage right now, so I'm on the hunt.
Who knew?
For some Aperol. There's a supply chain issues. So these are our problems right now. Fake news. It's probably not.
First world problem right there.
Yep. If you have the Aperol, please give me a call. Yeah. I will make you a spritz.
BYOA.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So.
Right on. Well, have a great week. Thanks for tuning in.